What's up, nerds? So I watched Star Trek Discovery, episode 1 of season 5. This is the final season, you guys. Thank God. And they've started up this whole Indiana Jones in space treasure hunt kind of thing. And this first episode was the setup. It was called Red Directive because, and they call back to this episode of Star Trek that where Picard, where they go to like there's all these other species, like there's Klingons, there's Romulans, and they all like are on this treasure hunt in that episode. I can't remember the name of it, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. If you're a Trek fan, you know what episode I'm talking about. And they go to this planet, and then this hologram of this alien, and they show it in this episode, and they talk about it in this episode and everything. But the alien explains how they created all life in the universe or whatever. And I think it's the Romulan that's all like, we shed DNA with them and everything. And I was just like, so then I remember that episode. It was not very, it was kind of action packed, not really though. There's like only a couple photons fired in that episode, but I do remember that episode very vaguely. So it's touching on that, and we'll talk about it with this breakdown. But one thing this episode did do that I really don't like it when movies and TV shows do is they start the scene off where she's riding on the ship of Maul and Locke. And then she's trying to break in or whatnot, or stop them and stuff. And then it's like 24 hours later, and it's like, why don't you just start the show where it begins? You just wasted my time there because we're going to see that again. So why don't you just have that later on? Because, this part wasn't really like thrilling in my opinion. Whatever. But it was fine. It's fine. So I'm going to start it off past that point, the breakdown. So here we go. It cuts to a flashback of the beginning of her night at the reception aboard the disco celebrating Federation Day. The Kelpian has some big news. He has been offered a job as a Federation ambassador, but he is conflicted about leaving the Discovery. Vance takes Burnham away to Kovich's super double secret Infinity Room for a briefing about the 24th century Romulan science vessel, which was found at the edge of the Beta Quadrant. He declares the mission a Red Directive. So we get all this stuff just thrown in there. First off, what's her face, Tilly? She's trying to hook up with this dude, but she's really bad at it because you know how some fat girls are. They just don't know how to talk. And Saru, he's all like, I would like to be an ambassador, and the Vulcan lady's all like, yes, I love you, but you should not factor our relationship into your decision. I'm like, What? Stop that. You know if he would have made, by the way, he does become the ambassador. But you know that if he would have chose not to stay there to see you more often, then you would have been like bummed about it. So stop. So then Vance, him and Burnham, they go into Kovich, which I like Kovich because that's what is his name off the top of my head? Shoot, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but I love him. Anyways, they go into his white room, right? Which is very reminiscent of Invincible. I was like, oh, you guys stole that, but that's Kirksman. They just steal stuff. They don't invent. They just anyways. So they're in his Infinity Room, right? And they talk about that Romulan vessel. And, it's in this like black hole area or whatever, but they need to get there first because there's something there that they need and it can't fall in the wrong hands. And he's like, you need to get that at all costs. It's a Red Directive. And then it's like, dun, dun, dun. And then it goes to the theme. Elsewhere, Vance orders the Antares and the Discovery to head to Kamau. Before she leaves, Burnham gets Sylvia Tilly to do some database investigation at Fed HQ to get around Kovich. So we get the Antares that goes with them to try to head them off or whatever, and they get into a little boom 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 fight, and she ends up on top of their ship going through hyperspace. And the Antares is like, we got him. And she's like, let him go and everything. And he's like, no, we're not going to let him go. If we let him go, we won't be able to find him. Now, the captain of the Antares, the whole time, he's all like, I'm not going to let him go, which I really liked him a lot because he kept saying Raynor. But he kept saying, like, she was all like, let him go. And she's like, you just can't do whatever you want. He's like, oh, that's what I get from you. He gave it back to her because she has been doing whatever she wants this entire show. And it's good that another character called her out for it. But he was right. He shouldn't have let him go. But he did. because he listened to Burnham, and she was wrong. She was wrong, because then they prance out and they set off all their little things like Star Trek, the little probes or whatever. But they end up tracking him down with Book. So Book was able to come back, which I'm all like, great, what a great character to bring back. I mean, nobody cares. And they found out that they went to this desert planet, like Kumar or whatever, and there was a guy named Fred there that was going to buy all their stuff because he liked vintage technology. The thieves head to the desert planet and find Fred, who it turns out is an eccentric android. He is interested in the puzzle box, which he opens and speedily reads the old journal of the Romulan scribbles and the diagrams. He offers 3 bars of latinum in a risky deal. Maul and Locke choose to get shot, but Fred's henchmen end up dead, and the synth is left with a big hole in his chest. The Federation arrives too late, but they beam what remains of Fred up to the ship as they split up to find the bad guys. So Fred is a synth. He looks kind of like Data with his eyes and his skin and everything. He was very annoying in my opinion because he's like, Maul and Locke, your names intertwine each other. Maul and Locke. And I'm all like, that shit sounds stupid. I'm tired of you already, Fred. I'm glad he died. So he wants the puzzle box because he's all like, I will give you 3 bars of latinum. I wasn't asking if I was telling you that was the price and everything. And then they kill him, and they go away. They try to get out of there or whatever, and they try to go after him. Back at the academy, Tilly gets caught hacking, but Vance covers for her as he's growing tired of Kovich's behavior as well. She finds an old recording of the Romulan scientist talking about the secrets he has written in his journal, dropping clues about twin moons and the ancient technology that cannot fall into the wrong hands. Tilly, she's doing her little hacker business, which she's like got the coffee because she didn't get laid because she doesn't know how to seal the deal. But Vance comes in, she's about to get arrested, and Vance comes in, he's all like, no, I gave her the okay, so let her do it. Because he wants to know what Kovich is up to, too. He's all like, what's going on here, Kovich? And so he gives her the okay, and they basically like, we don't want this. They watch the hologram thing with the scientist, and it's all, muddled up and everything, but they're able to figure out that it's an ancient technology, and this cannot fall into the wrong hands. Michael, Book, and Rayner head into the desert for a bike chase, while Maul and Locke get their ship and plan an escape with the use of some tunnels. The trio debate over how to counter this move, with Burnham warning Rayner that if they order the Antares to close the tunnel, it could trigger an avalanche that could destroy the town. So Book and Burnham and Rayner they're going on their little sand speeders or whatnot. And this part was actually cool. It wasn't like, this is the thing. It didn't feel Star Trek to me, but it was still cool, It was like a little chase or whatever through the desert. And they keep, again, Rayner was all like, destroy the cave, and she's like, no, because it could cause an avalanche. Rayner was right, and Burnham was wrong, in my opinion. And I don't care about those people in that town. They when you get a red directive, it's like, get it done. And Burnham is one of those, I'll get it done, maybe. I just got to feel that out and everything. But I don't know. Why don't you stop arguing with me, white man? And I'm all like, you were given an order, honey, and you're really bad at following orders. We've seen throughout the entire series of this show, so. Rayner decides to take the risk and avoids an avalanche of epic proportions, but the thieves decide to trigger one anyways. They try to figure out a way to save the town and figure the only logical solution is to use both ships as a giant sand wedges to build a shield wall. The ships save the town and the locals cheer in relief. However, Rayner doesn't join in with the celebrations as Maul and Locke have escaped again. So it doesn't cause an avalanche, but then they get a big, and she's like, you gave them an idea. And I'm like, oh, good, destroy that town. It looked stupid anyways. It looked third world to me, except for the synth and everything. But they end up stopping the avalanche, and that's that was fine. But they end up stopping it in like a kind of dumb way, in my opinion. I'm like, oh, okay, great, and everything. But it was fine. In sickbay, Hugh and Paul are sorting through Fred's brain when Burnham spots a clue that identifies the twin moon's location, which gives her justification to confront Kovich, who is looking at the wrong planet. He briefs her on what's really going on. Turns out the long-dead Romulan scientist was named Dr. Valak, and he was present when Captain Jean-Luc Picard found a message left by ancient beings who created every humanoid species in the galaxy. So they go through the synth's brain and they read all the stuff and everything. And, Burnham, she's just so freaking brilliant that she's all like the twin moons and everything. She goes to Kovich and she's like, you don't know what moons you're talking about. And Alok and Mach are on their way to the wrong moon, the wrong planet. So you need to tell me what you know and I'll tell you what planet they're going to, what moon they're talking about. And he tells him about that episode from Star Trek. And Jean-Luc Picard and everything and all that stuff. And he's one of the Romulans in the background and everything. If he was a main character in that episode, I don't remember because like I said, I remember that episode pretty good. I just don't remember all the details and everything. I don't remember every single person that had a line in that episode. But he tells her, and then she tells him it's like a moon that has it's a planet that has 3 moons, but the moon is one of they're talking about or whatnot. Yeah. And so they're gonna go there. Valak found their technology, and now the greatest treasure in the known galaxy is up for grabs, and Maul and Locke are already in line to find it. However, Michael Burnham and the Discovery are competing with them to get there first. And that's the end of the episode. So after all is said and done, it's basically, a treasure hunt. They got to find this treasure, the greatest treasure on Earth, because they can create life in the galaxy, instead of, but somebody could maybe destroy life. It's bad in the wrong hands. And I have to say, for the first episode, this was I did like the sand speeder chase. That was kind of fun. And the space stuff was all right. When she was riding on the Maul and Locke ship, that was fine, but it wasn't really that great. And it was only the first part of it. So I was like, after that was done, I was like, this isn't that great. So overall, the episode was fine, and I wish they would just make their own storyline instead of always falling back on previous Trek to go off of. I mean, yeah, sure, episodes and stuff have done that before, but this show seems to do a lot of it. They're really relying on old Trek to piggyback on, and I'm all like, why don't you just create your own thing? I mean, come on, it's really kind of annoying, but it's whatever. Kurtzman is a hack anyways, so yeah. But overall, this first episode to me was just okay, but we'll see how the next episode goes. I'll try to have that out by tomorrow, but I don't know, man. I just wasn't feeling it, and but at the same time, I went in not feeling it. So we'll see how this season turns out. I don't have hope. Michael Burnham is still annoying and obnoxious. I do like the Rayner guy. He's pretty awesome because he gives it back to her. But other than that, I'm just whatever. So that is my breakdown and review of this episode, you guys. I just yeah, Star Trek is pretty much dead to me now. I mean, they didn't go with Star Trek Legends or whatever, where it was the season 3 Picard characters. That they passed on that idea, and that was a bad choice on their part. What a dumb freaking idea not to go with that. But hey, that's Kurtzman. He just makes a lot of bad decisions, and hopefully what we got going forward is all we're going to get of Star Trek. We're getting this, Strange New World Season 3, that movie that with Michelle Yeoh, we're Section 31, and then maybe the other shows have one more season. Maybe then that'll be done, hopefully. Maybe this new Trek, and then they'll try to revamp it and start over again. But I don't know if they can save Trek now, because for me, like I said, it's not dead, but it's dying. It's on life support for me, and I don't know, man. And I have to watch it because it's Star Trek. I can't not watch it. There's certain shows, they IPs that no matter what they do, I still am probably going to watch it because it's just embedded into my code. So tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? What do you hope to see in this season? Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week on my Star Trek Discovery breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.